Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Coming Home to You gathering, where we gathered together sisters from around the globe who will come and share their wisdom and their knowledge on how to reconnect, rediscover, and rise as not just women, but as powerful beings to reclaim your purpose and your authenticity. And as I'm trying to go live here, I am coming home to you. Let's do this. Let's go. I think that's going to work. And so I just want to welcome everybody as we're getting this live stream situated. So hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. It is truly an honor to have you here for our weekly Coming Home to You gathering. It's a sacred space where women from across the globe come together to reconnect with themselves, their purpose, and their inner light. This gathering is about more than just learning, it's about belonging. It's a place where we can let go of expectations, into our authenticity, and embrace the beautiful, raw truth of who we are. Here's what makes this gathering special. It's a circle of support where every voice matters, every story is honored, and every heart is held with compassion. Together we'll rise and we'll share, reflect, and inspire one another on the journey of coming home to ourselves. Each week, we'll explore topics that help us reconnect with our inner wisdom, release the habits and beliefs that no longer serve us, build resilience and rediscover joy, celebrate the power of sisterhood and shared connection. This isn't just a gathering, it's a homecoming, a place to find clarity, healing, and strength in the company of incredible women from around the world. Thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for bringing your unique light to this space. Together we'll rise, heal, and grow. And I'm so excited for the journey ahead. With love and gratitude, I am your host, Margarita Rose. Thank you for being here. Okay. So as we come together, I wanted to just do a quick exercise that is going to help us kind of start by reconnecting with ourselves, with our bodies. So today we have a special guest, my first guest officially on this new platform. And she's a familiar face if you were watching the Global Prayer and Healing Gathering. And so I'm so excited to have her here. But let's start by taking a deep breath in. Maybe if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Take a long, deep exhale. Maybe you want to put your hands in your heart center, or maybe one hand in your heart and one in your stomach. Make sure you're sitting comfortably. And now I want you to repeat and say aloud as we begin this journey together. Take a moment to let go of everything that came before this gathering. Allow yourself to fully arrive in this space just as you are. Now, with an inhale, I want you to silently say, I reconnect. And as you exhale, silently say, I release. Let's do that again. I reconnect. And I release. So feel your breath as a bridge, connecting your mind, your body, and your spirit. With each inhale, invite connection. And with each exhale, let go of any tension, distractions, worry, anything that is no longer serving you. Ask yourself, what do you need most in this moment? Do you need another breath? As we begin, set a simple intention for yourself. It might be to receive, to connect, to release. or simply to be present. Hold that intention gently in your heart, knowing that this time is for you. Now take one more deep breath in. We're going to ground that intention in our body, in our mind, and in our spirit. You are here, you're present, and you are ready to receive and reconnect with your truest self. Let's begin this beautiful journey together. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes, so I want to share with you our guest today. She is the founder of S4E Coaching. Her name is Dr. Cynthia Stirbys. She's a founder, as I said, of S4E Coaching and is celebrated as a beacon of amazing grace and resilience. Drawing from profound personal experiences, Dr. Stirbys is dedicated to advocating for healing and empowerment. Her expertise in grief and generational trauma forms the foundation of her advocacy for healing and empowerment. Through collaboration with experts, she integrates wisdom and compassion to uplift those facing loss and perhaps feeling stuck in life. In her transformative coaching approach, Dr. Stirbys is thrilled to inspire women to dream bigger and craft a life they truly love and deserve. Over a transformative 3-month journey, she supports individuals in embracing change and making their dream life a reality. With unwavering dedication, Dr. Stirbys illuminates paths of healing and restoration. Her process begins with instilling trust and belief in the support available. How exciting is it to have you here today as my first guest? It's so perfect and poignant for this journey ahead.
Thank you, Margarita.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for that beautiful grounding. I really needed that. At the last minute, I needed that. And I really appreciate that. One of the things I'll ask for audience members viewing is that you may want to grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and get comfortable, bring your favorite drink, water or I like coconut water or water with a little bit of the salt in it. And yeah, and we'll get started. And I'm just going to ask Margarita to allow me to share the screen. Because what we're going to do today is it's a mini workshop, and it's really a perfect way to start the new year, because it is also a grounding, but it also helps you focus to what you want to achieve for this year. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, forgive me for being a little slow on this. I might have to just rewind this a little bit from the start. Okay, so there we go. So just to start, and thank you for the introduction, Margarita. But I also want to let audience members know that I am also a certified dream builder, coach, and life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. And so welcome to the Power of Vision, 3 Keys to Mastering Your Results. So I'm going to share with you 3 principles that you can use today in your life. And I'm so happy and grateful for the invitation to be here and also to share with this with you today. So as I get started, let me see. There we go. I'm just going to share a quick little story. Okay, so you see a mouse on the screen. This is a mother mouse, and she's leading her 3 little children through a house. And all of a sudden, as she's turning the corner, she sees a big cat. And the cat, of course, looks at the mice with hunger in his eyes and slowly starts walking towards them. And he's also revealing his sharp teeth. So, of course, the little mice are very scared. And the mother mouse, in her effort to protect her little ones, backs up, stands on her hind legs, and says in a really loud voice, "Ruff, ruff, ruff." And the cat gets scared and runs off because he's not expecting that. The mother turns to her little babies and says, now, children, never underestimate the power of learning more than one language. So we're going to be talking today, and I share this story to make the point that we can all learn more than one language. And today we're going to explore the language of success, because what we say to ourselves, and sometimes we often don't say it out loud, what those words and the language we say to ourselves actually matters. And so I'm going to share with you, the language of creating results that you want in your life. And once we consciously understand this language, we can apply it to any area of our life that we want to improve, we want to change. Okay, it's creating that awareness. And so the system of success that I'm going to share with you has been developed, over 40 years and has been used by tens of thousands of people. And it's a proven, reliable, and repeatable system that you can create whatever matters to you. Okay, so the intention here is really to share with you some powerful tools that, again, as I've already mentioned, will increase your results in your life. And so by the time you leave this session, you will have 3 tools. I'm just going to change. Sorry, I just have to move us up a little bit here. You'll have 3 tools to help you achieve your goals. You'll have greater clarity on your goals and dreams. And you'll feel even more confident in your ability when you apply these tools. Are you up for that? Awesome. That's great. I'm always excited to share this kind of information with people. Because one of the things I'll tell you is that small changes in your life, as long as you're consistent, small changes over time creates big impact. Okay, so this is what I have been learning. No matter what's happening, no matter what your situation, no matter how bad it is, you have that power within you. Okay, so what I've learned during the many opportunities when I speak with people, when I speak with different groups and organizations, is that our goals and dreams are often born out of the challenges we face. And we wouldn't have discovered things about ourselves unless these challenges were put in front of us. Okay, so there are 2 signals for growth. And we live in a universe that speaks to us through these 2 signals. Okay, and that is our longing and our discontent. So we experience this feeling of longing when we're desiring something that we haven't yet created. And so this is the power of creation that's happening that you get to participate in. And we feel this feeling of discontent when there are, certain circumstances or current circumstances, obviously, of which we don't prefer. Both of these, longing and discontent, are the catalysts of growth within us. So whether it's the pain of a problem and the burning desire for something new, these are both essential for creating new results in our lives. Okay, so very brief, because I know we have short time, but just a little bit about my story. So I have a huge background of education behind me that led to a certain job, which actually had a 2-day interview, and I had to do these interviews twice over. So it was really 4 days of interviews. So it was very laborious, and I had to kind of prove that I was worthy of being hired. And so I passed. I was hired. It was a position that had a union in it. And so, there's lots of rules, lots of things to do. But over time, I started to see how in this environment I was working in, it wasn't conducive to the values that I hold. And in I mean, it took a few years, but I really started to see how my values didn't align with the values of this organization. And I was starting to feel really kind of restricted, and compacted is a word I want to use as well. And so soon I started to see elements of what I would say was becoming a toxic environment. And so one of the things I recognized is that I had to get out. I had to do something different. And I knew that doing nothing was not an option. And for anybody in the audience who hears this and has had that experience working with unions, it's a really difficult situation when you're not really happy in your situation and you want to change it. It's not an easy process to go through. I didn't know how I was going to do this, because I can tell you that when I went to two different lawyers, they wouldn't touch this. As soon as I said it was unionized, they're like, nope, 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 you got to work with them. And they backed off. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Again, it was actually a fearful experience because there was so many unknowns and uncertainty. And I can tell you that I decided I was going to take the task on, because as I said, doing nothing was not an option. And I became very creative in what I was doing. It's a much bigger story, but suffice it to say, I learned how to become my own attorney. And the beautiful and surprising part of this is that it's not as hard as you think. So let's just say, despite not having a lawyer around me, I became my own attorney. I figured it out, and I was able to. And one thing I can tell you, I knew I wanted to focus on what I wanted. I only saw the end result. I focused on what I wanted, and I knew that I needed to be taken care of, financially speaking, because that's how I was going to continue and create something new after, this career had ended. Suffice it to say that in my creativity, even though there were many unknowns and I didn't know the how of doing it, I achieved that end goal. And so I was taken care of. I got what I wanted. I had an ask. And to me, that was a very successful story. But I can totally appreciate, for anybody out there, being in a situation where it seems this is almost unachievable. Like, how can I do that? I totally get it. It's emotional, and it can be a struggle and difficult. But I can tell you that I was successful in that, and that really empowers me to share bits of my story with people, because I know if I can do it, that you can do it too. And so that's a bit of my story. And so yes. So in my longing, I wanted something different. I wanted to settle in a good way. And in my discontent was to be out of that environment. And I was able to achieve that. So again, coming back to the power of vision. And so in my story, I had a vision, even though others around me were saying, good luck with that. Let's see what happens. I doubt it. Right. And so I honestly ignored them. I ignored them on one level, and on the other level, I'm like, let me show you. Right. So yes, it was a good ending. So I'm happy to say that. So again, coming back to the power of vision, very, very important. 3 keys to mastering your results is that, again, sharing some of these principles with you that you can actually use right away. It will help you transform by how you focus on makes a difference, transforming your longing and discontent into new results. And so these principles are coming from the program that I'm certified to teach. And I mentioned already, it's the Dream Builder program. There are 10 principles in total. That will support you to skyrocket you to the success that you want and create that change. But for now, I'm gonna start with 3 principles. Okay, so let me first tell you, my promise to you is that I'm going to give you everything in the short time that we have together. And at the end of the presentation, if you obviously can take the information, integrate it into your life, and I just have a special gift for you. So I'll come back to that at the end, and we'll continue on. Okay, so there are four domains in which we can create results in our life. It's health and well-being, love and relationships, our vocation, and time and money freedom. And these four areas are usually the areas people want to work on, one or two at a time. The beautiful thing is that when you do work in one or two of these quadrants and you're having success, what starts to happen, they start to spill over in the other areas of your life. So working on one or two, it's a great start, and you'll have results in other areas of your life. But no matter the results and no matter how big of a challenge it might feel to you, and no matter how long whatever this old result has been in place, you have the power within you to create that change. So we're going to start here. But I should just a little bit of context. Any results that you do have in any of these areas of your life are a perfect reflection of awareness. Sometimes we lack awareness. And I can tell you that that was true for me as well in my story that I shared with you. Yeah, awareness makes all the difference in how you respond and the decisions that you make. So let me see if I can, just going to move. So this is the results formula. And in the results formula, to expand our awareness, we start with our thoughts. Okay. And then your thoughts cause your feelings. You likely already know that your thoughts cause your feelings. And then when you think joyful thoughts, you feel happy. When you think scary thoughts, your feelings change drastically. Your heart might beat faster. You might feel fear but definitely your thoughts affect your physiology. So everything kind of starts there. And by universal law, your feelings are expressed through your actions. Okay, so when we feel confident, we feel energized, we take different actions in the world. If we feel down, frustrated, or sad, then we don't take those actions. And it's the actions that actually contribute to any results that we have in our life. And I'm just gonna move it. So yeah, so we have our thoughts, we have our feelings that lead to actions, and then we see it in the results. So one of the things when we talk about this, when you go through the results formula, the results never lie. If you're not getting the results you need, you have to discover why that is. And so we want to create new results, and we want to start noticing what we're noticing. Okay. And so we have to pay attention to our thoughts. And so I can tell you that, I do that regularly. Sometimes I will be doing something and I will stop and say, wow, where did that thought come from? Because it's not aligning with maybe what I want to achieve for the day. Anybody else have that? Have you noticed sometimes? Yeah. Okay, so it's not, we all have this experience. And it is the human experience. So in the same way that you can notice what you feel, and that you notice, how things feel, like physically, you can also notice what you were thinking also affects how you're feeling. So what we're going to do, I asked you to get your pen and paper. So we're going to do a little life assessment. So we're going to apply this results formula and notice what you're noticing to your life right now. So in this assessment, what I'm going to do is, oh, sorry, there's something on my screen I got to get rid of. So I'm just going to invite you to notice your current results. In each area of your life, we're going to do each of those four quadrants on a scale of 1 to 5, and how fulfilled you feel in that particular area in your life, how you feel about the results in your life. So you're just putting numbers down. You could put a couple of words here and there as well. So 1, the assessment 1 to 5, 1 is that you are not being fulfilled at all, and a 5 is you are completely fulfilled. Okay, so we're going to start. So notice your current results. So in health and well-being, are you happy where you are health-wise? Do you have the energy? Do you feel vibrant? So 1 is not so great. 5 is, yes, I'm doing really, really well there. Okay, so you just put a number down. So now we're going to move to love and relationships. So how is that for you? Again, 1, you're not happy. Maybe you're single. Maybe you just ended a relationship. Whatever the situation, 1, you're not happy. 5, you're doing pretty good. You have a 10 out of 10 in terms of relationship. Okay, now we're going to go to your vocation, your career, and how are you doing here? Are you sharing your gifts with the world? Are you being creative? Or do you feel stifled in a workplace that you don't quite like the environment that you're working in? Again, one is, nope, don't like the environment I'm working in, don't like the results. 5 is, yes, I'm creating, I'm doing, I'm meeting people. Okay, and the next one is time and money freedom. So again, is there a nice balance in your life? Do you work and then you rest and then you play, right? Do you have the money to do all those things? So 1 is, no, I'm feeling a little stuck. I'm not really moving in the right direction. Or 5 is, yes, I'm finally finding a bit of balance here in my life. So that's time and money freedom. And as we consider all of these areas in our life, and when you just look at the list that you have, what is it costing you to remain? If your numbers are 1 and 2, what is it costing you to remain in the situation that you're in now? So pay attention to your thoughts around those results. And I'm going to a gentle reminder, don't judge yourself here, because that's what we automatically do. Oh, I could do better, or maybe I should have done this instead. And we kind of start to beat ourselves up. That's not what the purpose of this exercise is. The purpose of the exercise is just to see where you are in your life. And the good news is you are learning principles to help move you, if you're 1 and 2, up to 5. Okay. And all we're doing here, we're simply paying attention and we're noticing in these 4 areas how you'd like to change things, creating new results and results that you love. Okay, so we're going to go to our first teaching point, and this is designing your dream. So I shared this before, that in designing your dream, I met someone who said, I didn't think I was allowed to dream. There was lots going on in her life, a lot of things that weren't working well. She had probably, if she had done this assessment back then, it would have been 1, 1, 1, 1. Like nothing was working. Her relationship wasn't working. Her job wasn't fulfilling, etc. And to have the concept of designing a dream was a new idea to her. And maybe for some of you out there, it's a new idea because you might have reasons for that. I can tell you from my background, my reasons were, I was a kid from the country. I was different from all the city kids. And when we talked about school and future years, that was for the city kids. That wasn't for me. Right. And it was much later in life that a lot of kids started college or university at 19 or 20, 18, 19 or 20. And I took much later to do that because I didn't think that I could dream of that. So here we are, designing your dream. So what would you love to have different in your life? And each of us can plan for them, just like you have a clear blueprint when you're building your dream home. The same is true. Without a clearly defined blueprint, we just kind of waffle in life, but you can be more succinct. So I'd like you to write this down. Clarity is power. When you become clear on what it is you really want in life, you begin to see opportunities and resources that you may otherwise have entirely missed. Things may seem to appear out of the blue as you start to refocus your energy differently. So let's design the blueprint for your dream and let's make it crystal clear. Okay? So I want to ask you, what would you love? And this is the phrase when we teach these principles that we always use. What would you love? So it's your heart's desire. Do you want to, redecorate your home? Do you want to travel? What is it that you would love? And as I ask myself this question, I feel an energy shift from a state of worry to love. All of a sudden, there's a new energy with that. So, okay, so now what we're going to do, so that's the focus I want you to have in your mind. And what we're going to do is a time machine. What would you love? So I'll explain this and then I'll ask Margarita to cue the music for about 2 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to step into a time machine and we're going to say 3 years from now. So we're at 2025, the beginning of 2025. Wow, already. But in 3 years, 2028, what is it that's going to be different in those 4 domains in your life? What is it that you would love to change up? And you imagine everything is absolutely worked out. So you start from that viewpoint. What would I love? And you start to imagine and everything's worked out. And so what you're writing in this time machine, you're actually detailing the blueprint of your dream life. Okay, so what does a life you love look like for you? And so you can draw, you can put words, you can doodle. So if Margarita can start the music for 2 minutes, we will you'll start to write your life, your dream life. And no judgment on this, just have fun.
We need to quit share so I can share my audio.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, I thought I quit share. Yep. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right.
And so that would just be the start. The idea of you starting to write your dream life is that, again, it's the start. You're laying the foundation. The beauty of a dream, you can adjust it, change it, add to it. So I will go back to sharing my screen. My share button disappeared, so bear with me for a second. Okay, we can see that okay? Okay, what would I love? And so that's the time machine. I just want to ask, Margarita, do you have a few points just to share? You don't have to say the whole dream, but just a couple of points to share to encourage your audience members.
Sure. I wrote down, I would love to have our dream house and being able to travel with my family. And the biggest one for me was to impact women globally, to really be seen as someone that comes from the heart and love and just wants to empower everybody, and moms especially who feel stuck and don't feel good enough.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. It's a beautiful dream, and we need light workers in the world like you to step into your dream because people are waiting for you, right? They're waiting for you. And in waiting for you, what you do for them is life-changing. So thank you for sharing that. And so that's the beginning, right? We want to just start to detail what we love, what we would love in the world. And the teaching point, the second one is really, I am so happy and grateful now that. So what you're doing is you're designing your dream. And so just like we experience results, throughout our day, we also make decisions each moment, right? And we talked about how thoughts can impact that. So it's proven that highly successful people are willing to decide for what they would love, even in the absence of knowing how you're going to do it. That actually was a new concept for me years ago. Because I just thought that sounded a little bit crazy. If you don't know how to do it, then how do you do it? Right? Let's not think that hard. And that's the other thing I've been learning is by using these principles, they can help create an ease with which you move in your life and what you create. So we don't have to know every single step of the way. Because there's beautiful things that happen that we can never predetermine. Because when you put your dream out in the world, the universe conspires and shifts and moves to support you in making that come true. Okay, so these are gentle reminders. So the key that you make a firm decision for what you want. So it really starts in the heart first. The heart, not the head, right? Decide what you want before you will bring your dream into reality. That's what's most important. And so this really means you get to decide for your new results. Okay, so deciding for your new results. I'm wondering if this went backwards. So we already, yeah, I'm just deciding for your new results. So where are you now? And then what would you love? And there's a gap in between there, but that's okay. So with your life assessment, now you can recognize your current results. Where are you now? What's the number? And you journaled what you would love in your life, now recognizing your dreams and where you want to go. And so that's great. That's really a first step. And then what happens in the middle? any idea of the how that you're bringing in, you don't have to worry about that. You actually can suspend the how. And the beauty of suspending, how am I going to do this, is that you don't drive yourself crazy on it. You just take one step that you know that you can do. So we're going to refuse to let that unknown stop you, stop any of us. Just like I said with my story, I didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew I was going to do it. I was going to find a way to leave the place of work in a good way. And that was really important. So we're not going to let the unknown stop us from making a decision to move forward towards our dreams. Okay. So that's. So yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Okay, so are you willing to decide to do whatever it takes to experience those results you'd love? And if so, raise your hand. You're going to decide. You're going to make a decision. Yay, yay, congratulations. Okay, so deciding is the second key principle. And congratulations on that. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be scary. And so this is another teaching point, is befriending your fear. And again, I've experienced that in trying to create change. And the fascinating thing is, once you get through it to the other side and you look back, I don't know how many of you can imagine this. Maybe you've had the same experience. You kind of look back in time and you go, why was I so scared? Why was I so scared to take those steps? It was actually kind of fun. And so, there could have been challenges, but you got through them and you're on the other side. So if we can do that at the beginning, we could actually go a lot faster. So this is what this third principle is: befriending your fear. And so what does that really mean? It means making friends with it. You can notice it, you can recognize it, it's there, it's present, but you don't have to let it stop you. You be friends with your fear. And it doesn't mean you never have fear, but again, fear walks with you. Come on, friend. Or come on, fear, be my friend. Let's go together. And eventually fear will start dropping off. Fear is not going to be knocking at your door, wanting to be with you all the time. It's just going to drop off. And so then, heck yeah, you're going forward. But the next question people ask is, what if I fail? What if I fail? They forget that by not doing anything, you don't even give yourself a chance, right? So we want to give ourselves a chance. And what if I fail? Again, it's just recognizing and noticing that when those questions pop up, it's just fear emerging once again. Okay, so here's an adorable little one right here that's starting to walk, learning to walk. And I mean, when we start to walk, we probably don't remember when we were, 1 year old or 1.5 years old, where we're learning to walk and we fall down. And so what do little ones do? They start out as non-walkers, right? They don't walk. And when they fall down, they're trying to reach that cookie. They see it on the counter, right? Or the shelf. They're trying to reach it, and that's what they want. And that's what they want. And they're walking, they fall down, and they get themselves up again, and they start to walk again unsteadily, and they fall again. So, but they don't let it stop them. You don't see little ones saying, oh, I guess I'll never walk. I'll never be a walker. They don't do that because they're focused on what they want. And they will do everything and use all their energy and power to get themselves there. And so, we all start out that way as non-walkers, but we learn to walk. And it's that instinct to focus on what you love. And of course, we weren't necessarily taught in that language to use that language, but that's looking at babies when they're learning to walk is a really good reflection of how we all started and how far we've come, right? It's a good analogy. So even as adults, there's times we're going to fall. There's times we might struggle to walk, to take that step forward. But no matter what the struggle, you can still go forward. Remember at the beginning, I said, it's those small, consistent things that we do, we can call them steps, that over time creates big impact in our lives. So yeah, so falling down and getting back up again is actually the key to achieving our dreams. And we befriend our fear and give ourselves a permission to fail enough times in order to succeed. Okay, so great dream builders are willing to fail and rise again. And so here's just a couple. Here is Spielberg, rejected from USC Film School. And he actually was rejected 3 times. And, you know, they probably told him words that his application just didn't make it. He didn't have what it takes, but he kept going. We're all aware of his movies, and his estimated worth is over $3 billion. It's probably more than that now, but there's one example. And then you might not know the name of the founder of Starbucks. Everybody knew that was Starbucks, right? Because we all know the logo. And the reason we know the logo is that this man also did not give up. And his name is Howard Schultz. And he was told when he started this that there was no market for his kind of coffee. And his loan application, guess how many times his loan application was refused? Shout a number. 10? Okay, let's see.
I said 10.
10, yes. 242 times. Can you imagine? 242 times he was rejected. But now he is worth he has over 30,000 Starbucks around the world, and the company has a net worth of more than $22 billion. So the point here is great success stories also have experienced great failure. And so we can kind of put things in check when we listen to other people's stories. In fact, fear and failure really, they say, are prerequisites for achieving great dreams. So, I mean, I must be really setting things up for greatness for the failures that I've had as well. Okay. So, as I said, fear and failure are prerequisites for achieving great dreams. It's worth saying again. Okay. So, how do we give power to that part of us that wants to move forward when we are hearing that voice that wants us to play small? There is a whole process to this that I take clients through. And again, it is a process through the Dream Builder program. But for purposes today, I'm going to give you one thing that you can do. So refocus your mind on your dream. Always focus on the want. What is it that your heart wants? And then take one action step. It's just one. I'm starting to call this the power of one as a reminder that it's just one step that you take. And when you take that step, you can stop and you say, I just need to take that one step. And so before you know it, again, small, consistent steps have big impact in your life is another way you can say that. So think about your vision, your dream. You've already written it down. It just doesn't happen without taking those action steps. So we have to take ownership of it. We have to do our part. And it starts with that one step. And you do this even if you do have fear, even if you do doubt, even if you have worry, right? So you do it despite that. And again, one step, we can all do one thing, right? Again, just a gentle reminder. So I want to ask, are you willing to befriend your fear so you can take that one step? It's beautiful. I love to see the nodding head. Yes, yes. And by saying yes, you are saying yes to you, and you are saying yes to your dream. And that is wonderful, and that is powerful. Okay, so you're saying yes to your dream. Woohoo, taking action. So just a quick summary to mastering your results is one, you're designing your dream. You're deciding for your dream. You're going to say yes. You're going to take, that one step, and you're going to befriend your fear. So all those things combined are a really good start to making change in your life. So, okay, so then I also promised at the beginning of our time together that I have a gift for you. And so I've done the recap. Just again, gentle reminder, said with love, say it to yourself. You are worthy of your dream and a life that you love. You are worthy of rebuilding and making the life that you had even bigger than what it was. Okay, so my gift to you. And so my offer to you, and I dropped it in the chat. Oh, maybe it's not there. So do you have my
Yes,
have a
I got
link?
it. And I just dropped it on the live uh,
Okay.
chat. And then when I post this on YouTube, it will be on the description as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm going to end with the story, but my gift to you, and Margarita dropped my information. My gift to you is a discovery call. So what the discovery call is, we're going to start talking about your dream. It's one thing to write it down, and then it's another thing to share it with someone that can support you in, and making it bigger, right? Making it bigger. It doesn't hurt to dream big, right? In fact, it can create a lot of blessings for you and your family. So you will get a free discovery call with me, and just to get you on your way to build it up a little bit more than what we have now. So thank you for dropping that. I'll just say it out loud. You can email me at 369mydreamlife@gmail.com. Or you could also click on the link that Margarita is offering. Thank you very much. And so it's a discovery call. So I'm going to finish with a story. So here's a story of this gentleman, William H. Murray, and he was going to he was asked to join a team that would climb Mount Everest. And he was known as one of the top 5 climbers of all time. But he didn't start out that way. In fact, he almost let the opportunity of greatness pass him by. And so this man, Edmund Hillary, came to him, and he was putting a team together. So he had asked William to join the team. And so William at the time hadn't done the climb yet. And so when Edmund Hillary asked William Murray to join the team, Murray said, "How much is it going to cost?" And since he thought it was too much, he declined the invitation. Well, he had a second opportunity to join the next climb, and he declined again. And that was a few years later. He let the cost of the expedition, again, it was too much. He thought it was an impossibility. And then the third time, Edmund Hillary asked Murray to join his team of climbers. This time he asked a different question. And the question this time is, what's the deposit? So he asked for the deposit, how much is the deposit instead of how much will it cost? Because that was his first step. He could make the deposit, and the rest of it all worked out for him. And on that trek that he made with that team, first of all, he had no idea the how of it, but it all worked out. All of it came together for him. But the next thing he had no idea about was that it was he who actually discovered a new southern route that allowed his team to summit Mount Everest. And if he had not changed his question, the other thing is it's very important. The quality of the question will actually help you decide on what's that next step. And so if he had not changed that question and even what he was thinking, he would never have become known as one of the top 5 climbers in the world. So I share that with you because this seemed like an impossible dream on many levels. And to me, what's amazing is that he still had a chance to make that dream come true, which he did by thinking differently, by asking different questions. So you likely have a Mount Everest dream too. And so, and perhaps at this point, there's no clear point on how you're going to get there. But using these principles, where you think there might not be a path that exists for you, it just means that you're still growing your awareness to be able to see the things you can do to generate the results that you want. And I would be honored to support you with that if you want to have a free discovery call. And I'm going to close the workshop with a famous quote from Murray's book, where he quoted, I'll just change it. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffective. So ineffectiveness. And concerning the rest of it is concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth: the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, and that namely, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. And I had mentioned that has been my experience earlier. A whole stream of events issue from making that one decision that you're going to follow the path wherever it leads you, but you have your eye on what you want, what your heart desires. And when you issue from that one decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance. Basically, he's saying what I said earlier, the universe will conspire to make it work. And we have no idea what that looks like, but we don't have to know the how. We just have to commit to what we want. And so here's another few words from Goethe. I learned a deep respect from this is whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Again, going to repeat, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And I just want to thank you, Margarita, for having me here today. I hope your audience members will take these 3 principles and incorporate them into whatever decisions they're making to make that dream and whatever the heart desires come true. And I want to thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here today.
I just want to say thank you so much. There was 2 pages worth of notes. It's such a great way to start the week, I think, right? Because a lot of times Mondays can be just overwhelming and you're like, dragging your feet, there's so much to do. But I loved what you said there is like not knowing the how, but just taking one action, one small step towards your dream. And then the rest starts to fall into place. And it takes boldness and it takes being committed and have clarity in your dream. And that means writing it down, right? A lot of times we have these visions, but we don't write it down. And the 3 keys are beautiful in designing your dream, deciding that you're all in, and befriending your fears. That's the key, I think, for me. And is that last one is doing it afraid anyway. There, you find that once you get past that, it gets easier. You kind of look for the failures because you're like, okay, well, The failure is telling me that something didn't work or it has to be refined, and I'm not afraid anymore to fall because I can get right up and I didn't get hurt. Nothing bad happened. Um, what are the other things? Like clarity is power, which is huge. And then, which goes back to your whole presentation, right? The power of vision, having vision. And notice what you're noticing, I think was key too. Like, are you noticing possibility or opportunities, or are you just constantly getting stuck in the fear and in the problems? Right? Because there's no growth and there's no opportunity that live in that space. So I love that. The quality of the question impacts decisions that you make. Don't get stuck in the how. Beautiful. Those are all beautiful. And I will definitely be implementing these myself. So I appreciate you for that. It was such an honor to have you here today. And thank you. Thank you for presenting. It's beautiful and for what you do in the world. And I hope that you guys take up her on her offer to get a discovery call. A lot of the times, it's like she said, talking about it can really open up something that you weren't seeing. You know, when you talk to someone else, it really helps to kind of put those pieces together if you didn't know the how. Like, this is the how. Call her.
That's one step.
Yes, that's the one step you could take today. Don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. There are people out there that really want to support you in your dreams. So that's a beautiful message for the day. So thank you for being here again. I look forward to having you on the show again when we have more people together. Just kind of like a roundtable discussion of empowerment and authenticity and coming home to you. Until next time, my friends, be well, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, spread joy, lead with love, and keep those energies moving.
Bye-bye.
Bye.